Every cuisine on Earth is really a story about geography, climate, and history written in flavor. What grows nearby, what trade routes passed through, and what empires came and went, all shaped how people cook and eat. Let's take a whistle-stop tour through 10 of the world's most iconic cuisines, tasting the core ingredients, signature techniques, and one defining dish from each. Italian food is really 20 regional cuisines wearing one trench coat, shaped by centuries of separate city-states, each guarding their own recipes. The backbone is simple: durum wheat for pasta, olive oil from the south, tomatoes that arrived from the Americas and took over completely. The golden rule is fewer, better ingredients treated with respect, which is why a good Italian chef gets nervous around a dish with 15 components. The margherita pizza sums it up perfectly. Dough, tomato, mozzarella, and basil, arranged to echo the colors of the Italian flag. Northern Italy leans into butter and rice, like risotto, while the South leans into olive oil, seafood, and sun-ripened produce. It's a cuisine built on regional pride, family recipes, and the belief that a tomato picked at the right moment needs almost nothing done to it. French cuisine is less about wild ingredients and more about mastering technique, which is why the world's culinary schools still teach French method as the foundation. It grew out of royal court kitchens, where chefs like Escoffier organized cooking into structured stations, sauces, and courses that restaurants worldwide still copy. Butter, cream, wine, and slow-built stock sauces are the toolkit, turning humble ingredients into something rich and layered. Coq au vin, chicken slowly braised in red wine with mushrooms and bacon, shows exactly that philosophy. Patience, transforming a simple bird into something deeply savory. Regional identity still matters too, from buttery Norman cooking to olive oil and herb-heavy dishes in Provence near the Mediterranean. What ties it together is precision, the belief that technique elevates ingredients, and a genuine reverence for the meal as an event. Chinese cuisine is arguably the oldest continuously developed food culture on the planet, and it's less one cuisine than a whole continent of them. The wok is the star tool, letting cooks flash-fry ingredients at blistering heat to lock in crunch and smoky flavor in seconds. Regions vary wildly. Sichuan food in the West is fiery and numbing, with chili and Sichuan peppercorn, while Cantonese food in the South favors lighter, fresher, steamed flavors. Rice dominates the South, while wheat noodles and dumplings dominate the colder North, a split shaped directly by what crops grow where. Dumplings, or jiaozi, capture the whole philosophy, a humble wrapper hiding a balanced filling, boiled, steamed, or fried, depending on region and occasion. Above all, Chinese cooking chases balance, of flavor, of texture, of yin and yang, rather than piling on one dominant taste. Japanese cuisine treats an ingredient's natural quality as sacred, which is why a good chef will spend years just learning to cut fish correctly. Rice and seafood form the backbone, supported by fermented staples like soy sauce, miso, and dashi broth that deliver deep umami flavor without heavy spicing. Seasonality is almost a religion here, with menus shifting to showcase whatever is freshest that week, tied to Japan's 4 distinct seasons. Presentation matters just as much as taste, since a meal is meant to look as balanced and beautiful as it tastes. Sushi is the obvious ambassador dish, vinegared rice paired with impeccably fresh fish, but it's really a showcase of restraint rather than complexity. The techniques are quiet but exacting: perfect knife work, careful fermentation, and broths built slowly to extract maximum flavor from minimal ingredients. Korean cuisine runs on fermentation, a survival trick from harsh winters that turned into one of the most flavorful food traditions in the world. Kimchi, fermented cabbage packed with chili and garlic, is the obvious icon, But fermentation also gives us gochujang chili paste and doenjang soybean paste that flavor almost everything. Meals are built communally, with a main dish surrounded by an array of small side dishes called banchan, so everyone shares rather than eating one plate alone. Korean barbecue, grilling marinated meat right at the table, turned this cuisine into a global favorite, wrapping smoky beef or pork in lettuce with spicy paste and pickled vegetables. There's a real love of bold contrast here, spicy against sweet, crunchy against soft, fermented tang against fresh herbs. It's a cuisine that turned necessity, preserving food through cold winters, into a defining, punchy flavor identity. Thai cuisine is famous for chasing perfect balance in a single bite, hitting sweet, sour, salty, and spicy all at once rather than picking a favorite. Fresh herbs like lemongrass, galangal, and Thai basil do a lot of heavy lifting, pounded together in a mortar and pestle to build fragrant curry pastes. Coconut milk adds richness to many curries, while fish sauce and lime bring the salty, sour backbone that anchors almost every dish. Tom yum soup is a perfect example, a hot and sour broth loaded with lemongrass, chili, and shrimp that hits every taste bud in one spoonful. Pad Thai, the stir-fried noodle dish most people know internationally, actually reflects Chinese immigrant influence blended into Thai flavors, showing how trade shaped the cuisine. Thailand's location on Southeast Asian trade routes brought in chilies from the Americas and spices from India, and locals folded all of it into something unmistakably their own. Indian cuisine is a massive umbrella covering dozens of distinct regional traditions, shaped by climate, religion, and centuries of trade in spices that the whole world once sailed oceans to obtain. Spice blends, or masalas, are built fresh and vary by household, region, and dish, meaning there's no single recipe for curry powder, despite what Western supermarkets suggest. Lentils and legumes are a protein backbone across the country, especially important in vegetarian-heavy regions influenced by Hindu and Jain dietary traditions. The tandoor, a clay oven, gives northern Indian food its smoky grilled breads like naan, and its charred tandoori meats. Southern Indian food leans more toward rice, coconut, and tamarind-soured curries, a completely different flavor world from the creamy, dairy-rich dishes of the north, like butter chicken. What unites it all is the art of layering spices in stages, blooming them in oil, so a single dish can carry 10 distinct aromas at once. Levantine cuisine, covering countries like Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Palestine, sits at one of history's great crossroads, and you can taste it in every meal. Olive oil, flatbread, and chickpeas form the everyday base, showing off ingredients that have been farmed in this region for thousands of years. Meals are often built as meze, a spread of small shared dishes like hummus, baba ganoush, and tabbouleh, meant for lingering conversation rather than a rushed single plate. Grilling is central too, with skewered meats and rotisserie shawarma, reflecting techniques refined over centuries of open-fire cooking across the region. Hummus, mashed chickpeas blended with tahini, lemon, and garlic, might be the most globally recognized dish, but it's just one piece of a much larger shared plate tradition. Preservation methods like pickling and drying were essential in a hot climate long before refrigeration, and pickled vegetables still show up on nearly every table as a bright, tangy contrast to rich grilled meat. Mexican cuisine has roots stretching back thousands of years to Mesoamerican civilizations, long before Spanish colonization added new ingredients into the mix. Corn is the true foundation, and ancient cooks discovered nixtamalization, soaking corn in mineral lime, which unlocks nutrients and makes proper masa dough for tortillas and tamales. Beans and chili peppers round out the core trio, providing protein and heat in a cuisine that uses dozens of distinct chili varieties, each with its own flavor rather than just spice level. Spanish colonization brought pigs, cattle, dairy, and wheat, which blended into native techniques rather than replacing them, creating genuinely new dishes. Mole sauce shows this fusion perfectly. A complex sauce that can include chocolate, chili, spices, and sometimes dozens of ingredients simmered for hours. Tacos are the simplest expression of it all. A corn tortilla wrapped around whatever filling a region is known for, from slow-cooked meats to fresh seafood on the coasts. Ethiopian cuisine centers on injera, a spongy, slightly sour flatbread made from fermented teff grain that acts as both plate and utensil at once. Meals are served family-style on a large shared injera, with stews called wat spooned directly on top, and everyone eats by tearing off pieces of bread to scoop up bites, no forks required. Berbere, a fiery spice blend of chili, garlic, and warming spices, gives many dishes their deep red color and layered heat. Doro wat, a slow-cooked spiced chicken stew, often served with a hard-boiled egg, is considered the national dish and a centerpiece at celebrations. Ethiopia also has a huge tradition of vegetarian cooking, partly shaped by Orthodox Christian fasting days that ban animal products, leading to rich lentil and vegetable stews that stand fully on their own. Eating here is deeply communal, and the act of feeding a piece of injera directly to someone else, called gursha, is a genuine gesture of affection and respect. From the fermentation traditions of Korea and Ethiopia to the spice layering of India and the technique-driven kitchens of France, every cuisine on this list is really a map of geography, trade, and history you can taste. The next time you order takeout, you're not just picking dinner, you're sampling centuries of human adaptation and creativity. If you enjoyed this tasty world tour, subscribe for more Every X Explained episodes coming your way.